An exotic animal has been reported stolen from a traveling reptile exhibition, Cirque des Lézards. They were planning their grand opening tomorrow, but they can't do it without their star attraction, an Indonesian Komodo dragon. Fascinating creatures, 8 feet long and capable of killing a man. Insurance companies will cover animals reported stolen. Even the owner becomes a suspect. I'm going to join you personally on this case. You've done well so far, and I'm looking forward to working with you. Let's head over to the grounds.
Name's Arnold Ziegler. I'm the promoter behind this show. You're the police? Detectives?
We're with the Las Vegas Crime Lab, Mr. Ziegler, and we're treating this as a crime scene.
Hey, that's exactly what it is. Maybe it seems silly to you. You probably don't even know what a Komodo dragon is.
World's largest lizard. Ferocious carnivore. Found on the steep slopes of Komodo in the Lesser Sunda chain of the Indonesian archipelago.
Well, maybe you do know what a Komodo dragon is, but I bet you don't know that they're meat eaters. Nasty ones.
Actually, I just said that, Mr. Ziegler. If you want your lizard back, let's not repeat ourselves.
Ernie Roundtree, maybe. Our night watchman? Nothing unusual on his incident report sheet. Of course, he stopped filling it out about midnight. Unfortunately, that's standard for Ernie. I've ragged him about it, but you know what they say about good help being hard to find. Also, cheap help.
If Mr. Roundtree's unreliable, do you consider him a suspect?
That sounds way more ambitious than Ernie. And these critters are as big as they are ugly, and vicious when they're fooled with. Of course, a lizard gets used to the people around him, and if he, the lizard, not Ernie, felt comfortable enough, I suppose Ernie hauling him off is possible. So he's your suspect?
He's a suspect. We check every possible angle and don't rule anybody out until the evidence points its finger.
Actually, I thought you might ask that. I checked his application and his address is a P.O. box. And I tried the phone number. Disconnected. It's fair to say he's local. Look, I know this may sound awful sloppy on my part, but I just hired the guy for some short-term overnight lizard babysitting. Listen, a circus, a carnival. You hire the people that show up when you're setting up the tents. That may not sound like good business, but it's the culture. Why would anyone want to steal 35 grand? That's what these overgrown handbags are worth on the black market. No, well, I don't know if you'd call it suspicious, but that mortician was around.
What mortician?
I guess you'd call him the neighborhood mortician. Victor Kaufman. Funeral home's just a couple of blocks down the street from here. Guy takes walks at night. Sometimes he strolls by here. Seen him asking our people about the show and such, just passing the time. And questions like his, well, they're typical. Like I said, the circus life, the carny trade, it seems exotic to straights. We get it everywhere we go. Must strike a chord in people. The kid that wanted to run off to the circus kinda wakes up inside him. Sometimes I hang around, but not last night. I was in a line longer than a casino buffet's, getting a refund for that world's wildest stunts thing. Motorcycle stunt reality show. I had tickets, but the network canceled the series. Biggest stunt they ever pulled was crashing in the ratings.
Naja sputatrix, spitting cobra, native to Indonesia, from Java through to Timor. Lovely, distinctive markings. Looks like a flake of weathered vinyl. This terrarium, dry, sandy, is perfect for a Komodo dragon. Human toe. Maybe our Komodo snapped off a little snack and didn't like it. Or maybe this is what's left of lunch. Can't imagine anybody be walking around here in bare feet. A dragon doesn't get dragged off without a fuss. Surely Mr. Roundtree would have noticed something. Unless he's our perp and the toe is his. Tiny strand of hair stuck to the wood grain. Could have gotten snagged accidentally, or via impact.
You found a toe? A human toe? Was somebody killed here last night, you think?
At the very least, someone's walking with a new limp. Or not walking at all.
Oh, hell, this is the kind of publicity that scares customers off. They start imagining they could be some creature's next carry-out meal. If that damn Ernie'd been doing his job, his simple-minded job, I wouldn't be standing here knee-deep in Komodo caca. Just part of the scenery. Gives a pen a natural look, you know? People love that kind of stuff, and the animals don't seem to mind. Don't know why it was tossed in the corner, though.
Yes? Tiny bit of heavy-duty vinyl. Not exactly fresh. Faded and brittle. You can take a closer look under the microscope. Tread marks. Eyeball analysis? Not a car. But you probably should check him out on the computer. Better safe than silly. Human hair. You hit the follicle jackpot too. Who says you can't win in Vegas? Wood must have pulled out a hair on impact. Don't be surprised to find a Vic with a cracked skull and brain hemorrhage. Check out the DNA I ran from it, and try the follicle under the microscope too. You do like to keep me on my toes. Prints from foot digits are cataloged way less than ones on our finger. Still, I'll run it as far as a single toe can go, and I'm running some DNA from it. Well, this is the first driftwood with reptilian feces on it I've ever processed.
Looks human. I don't believe in luck, but I don't mind getting lucky. The air forces of some countries catalog pilots' toe prints. It seems aviation boots are often among the few survivors in charred aircraft wreckage. Back in '92, the Ukrainian Air Force made a highly publicized tour of the United States, during which several pilots defected. Our lost toe could have belonged to one of them. I'm not sure any of these match. I'm not sure any of these match. I'm not sure any of these match. Hello, sir. Are you the mortician here?
I'm him, and the chief mortician, Victor Kaufman. May I be of help? Have you suffered a loss?
We have, but it's not a loved one. We're crime scene investigators. May we ask a few questions?
Well, certainly. You police do a wonderful job. I'll do anything I can to be of service. Right here in the neighborhood. In work like mine, I find long evening walks of reflection most soothing.
A little late to be at work, isn't it? Or are you night shift too?
Oh, forgive me, I haven't made it clear. This is my home. It's not uncommon in my profession. There are tax advantages having your home double as your business, and there are, after all, round-the-clock demands in my field. I did go out to conduct one small piece of business. Stopped at Dr. Julius Ravelli's clinic, which is open nights. I needed to pick up a death certificate. Dying generates considerable paperwork.
Could the doctor confirm that, Mr. Kaufman?
Definitely, yes. Ernie Roundtree. I don't believe I... Oh, do you mean Ernie, the night watchman over at the circus grounds?
Yes. Happened to bump into him last night on your walk?
No, at least not that I recall. I have spoken to him a few times, recently, and he seems a nice man for having such a rough life. I hope he's not in some kind of difficulty. Oh, certainly. It's become a regular part of my walking route. It's fascinating watching them with their tents and animals and, well, I suppose it brings out the kid in one. Well, now that you mention it, if you mean an individual who is on the, shall we say, chubby side, with dark hair, yes. I saw an individual of that description. Probably just another circus roustabout. Didn't think a thing of it. Just as I was heading home, he was going from a van towards the showgrounds. Now, I believe he was carrying something, yes. It was a board or perhaps a club. It was a white van. Let me see. Anything distinctive? Anything distinctive? Something on the side. Logo of some kind. Red letters. What did they spell? Red Curtain Imports.
That should do it for now. What's up?
Let's have a look. Not getting anything. Not a recent address or place of employment. That's not a tough one. Here it is, but... It's in a residential neighborhood. Must be a zoning loophole. No prob. And there's a doctor in the house. Running an after-hours clinic, edge of downtown.
Hello? Anyone home? Open door. No sign of forced entry. Suspicious circs entitle us to take a look around. The red curtain conceals an animal trade operation, most likely black market. Perfect environment for reptiles. Well, we finally have a victim. Our Komodo. Very sad. Even though we've recovered the stolen property, we still have a missing person and a toe unaccounted for. That blow to its head is the probable cause of death, but we'll get confirmation to be sure. We've got tracks in the dust behind the cart. Deposit slip, $15,000. Withdrew $100 in cash. Can't really make out the signature. There is an account number, though. Someone tidied up here after something was spilled. Blood. Accuse me of scatology if you like, but this looks like fresh reptilian feces. Something was in here, and not long ago.
Hey. I've done everything I can think of with that. Can't think of much more to tell you about that. Pushcart tracks of some kind. I'll scan them into the computer. You're not going to find any search matches, but it could come in handy if you're doing comparisons. I amplified and graphed that DNA of yours, scanned it into the computer. Here's some news. I got nothing. A deposit slip? I think Captain Brass is better than I am at tracking down this kind of info.
I'm not sure any of these match. So, this blood puts that toe, or its owner, back at Red Curtain Imports.
No, and I can't tell you the color of his or her eyes either. This is a toe. Time of death estimates derive from examining rigor mortis, liver mortis, body temperature, chemical changes in the eyes, decomposition, or insect activity from a much larger sample than this. This only tells me it was severed anywhere from a couple of hours ago to last week. Well, the toe died when it got bitten off, and the bite is consistent with that of a dragon like your missing Komodo.
Need something? We aim to please. I'll check our business database. Well, it's a privately incorporated business, dates back about 10 years. Single registered owner. A bunch of board members listed when they incorporated, though. Sure, let's call a little cyber board meeting. Jeffrey Deschamps. Deschamps? Hey, I know that name. Dead cop from a case we worked on a while back. Huh, funny. Let's try Angus O'Grady. Huh, another deceased board member. I'll keep checking, but it doesn't take a dressmaker to see this pattern. Common cover-up technique, using names of dead people pulled from obits. Better see if Greg can decipher the depositor's scrawl. Sure thing. Well, here's a kick in the head. The money, all 15 G's, was deposited to Red Curtain from the account of, I wouldn't mind a drum roll, Cirque des Lizards Incorporated. Their temporary production office is only a couple of blocks from their tent setup.
Yes?
What's up? So, I had the handwriting from the signature analyzed by Ronnie Litra, our documents technician, to see if we could decipher John Hancock's real name, but it wasn't conclusive. Still, if you can run some names by me, I can tell you how likely it is we've got a match.
Could the signature belong to Dominic Petrenko?
Sure, that works.
Our probable victim was involved with Red Curtain, making a big deposit just before he stole the Komodo dragon. And we find a part of his body at the circus.